Hey there, I am back again. I've got another semester done. Summer semester classes are done, and I've got another final project that I want to just demo here on YouTube. I find that this is the easiest way for me to just show my stuff. So I'll just show you quick what I've been working on. I have been taking C++ for summer classes. So I did the Intro C++ class. We were tasked with building an inventory system, kind of basic command line stuff, just to show off some basic learning skills. For the project, they wanted us to do just to pick a domain, something we're familiar with, and then build an inventory system, something that allows the user to add items, remove items, display items from different categories, and also we're supposed to use smart pointers and store all the items in a vector. So I did that and a bunch more because I like to practice and play around with stuff. So let me show you what I built, and then we'll go from there. All right, this is my main menu system here. So I start off and I've got just a basic menu with navigation. I've got my vectors with unique pointers, smart pointers to different categories. So I had a base category, which I inherited from for 3 other categories. My idea was to make an inventory system for problems I have at work. So I work at a data center, and we have a lot of equipment and a lot of things floating around that aren't tracked very well. So I decided to make an inventory system to keep track of those things and store them all. So my program has basically 4 main screens. So just it's got a main screen with navigation, so you can look at all the different categories. You can get totals for all the different items in those categories. From there, you can navigate to the different pages. And also, I put in some functionality, which was not asked for, but so that you can save all the different categories to CSV files, so you can open them in Excel. My thinking is that if an employee wanted to save those and pass it off to their manager, say, hey, here's what our current inventory is, you could do that. And it also made the option to import that data from the CSV files back into the vectors in the program, so then you can work with them, save them, add to them, all that stuff. And then that kind of acts like a kind of a cheap database, just saving back and forth to files. But it was, again, this is above and beyond what was required, but I thought it'd be fun to include those things because it makes it more useful, more usable. So and I tried to keep my code pretty organized. A lot of my stuff is pretty small, so all my different classes, my base item class that I inherit everything from, included just 4 results. Everything is going to have a brand, a model, date received, and a description. All these fields are optional. You can put them in or not put them in. It works either way. I've got my getters and setters for all that stuff, and a virtual print feature. Well, that's in the header file that I override in all the specific class files. And so for these class files, I have a server one, a switch one, and a router one. These are just kind of basic stuff that we have at work. And then in theory, you could add different categories, different class things as well, and expand on that. So each individual class has all the base items, of course, and then it's got a few specific things. So servers will have operating systems and drives, switches might have number of ports, and routers might have speed rating, things like that. So each one is specific. And then I created validation methods. So I have a whole page that's nothing but or whole file that's just nothing but validation stuff. Little helper functions to make strings lowercase. I did a lot of prompting. I like these prompting calls, prompting functions. So you can prompt, you can supply a question. So you can say, hey, you know, what, just a general question that would require in this case, a Boolean response. And then it validates that, and it reprompts if the answer is not right. Same for strings and ints. I like to do these type of user input, so I can validate it and stuff right there in the function. And a few other prompt for commands. This is for the menu navigation. And then again, just some other helper functions for telling if string data is something that would be NA blank or capital NA. This would give an idea if if the data, they skipped over it, if they didn't want to enter some data. Same with an int value, I allow them to enter -1 if they don't want to enter any real value. And then all the vector logic, I got a whole file for vector logic, and this is all my add to server. So this is calling all the prompt functions, saving those all to a smart pointer. So I make a unique pointer out of each one. So I'm adding servers, I'm adding switches and routers. Also, I've got delete functions, so we're deleting those things back out of the vectors. I also have save data, so this is where all my logic lives to save things into the CSV files, as well as, and I have the same function just overridden for each different one, switches, routers, and servers. And also from reading, this was kind of the hairiest part of the whole project. C++ doesn't make it really easy to read and write to CSVs. Actually writing is fine. It's the reading was pretty complicated, so I had to put quite a bit of logic into the reading. And the same, it's just a generic function that I just overrode for each different category, with a few unique things in them as needed. And that is the most of it. Oh, and I've got some fancy ASCII text for my menu headers. And I'll just show you how all that works. So if we go ahead and run this guy, this is our inventory page. This is our main page. So right now we can see if we want to work with servers, switches, or routers, we have navigation to those pages. We can view all items currently in inventory. So if I look at that one, option number 4, it's going to tell us we don't have anything in any of these. And then I also just give a little bit of user input, tell them, hey, if you want to look at specific stuff, you have to go to the menus for those specific sections. We also have the ability to load from inventory files and save to inventory files, and then we can exit the program. And I'll just go ahead and load one up. So I've already got 3 CSV files made with some sample data in it. So I'm going to go ahead and load those. And it says all the data has been loaded, nice and fast. And now if we look at these guys, number 4, we're going to view all items. So it says we've got 3 servers, 3 switches, and 3 routers in inventory currently. Let's go into our server inventory, option 1. Make a selection. So we can add a server, we can delete a server, we can view all servers from inventory, or go back to the menu, see what we got for inventory. And I just assign them a name just based on their vector position. So in this case, we've got a Dell server, received on operating system, number of drives, and a basic description. We can add another server to the bunch if we want to. So what is this brand of server? Now here again, if we I can skip by hitting S, or I can, if I just leave a blank line, it says, are you sure you want to leave a blank line? And that's okay, you can. But if you did that by accident, it kind of makes you confirm it. So I'm going to say no. Actually, I didn't mean to do that. So what's the brand of server? Let's just say we're going to enter a Dell server. I don't even know what a good model is. We're just going to make some stuff up for data. What's the date this was saved in or received on? We're just going to say 1/1 of 2011. That's a good date. What's the OS installed? Let's skip that. Let's not install. Let's say it doesn't have an OS. We're just going to do S for skip. And a description. This is a test server. Let's see if I can spell it. This is a test server. And how many drives? I'm going to say it's got 4 drives in it. And then your new server has been added to inventory. Now we can view all servers in inventory. And you can see there's our new guy that we just added. And if we want to delete a server, let's say I don't like this this HP server. We don't want to, we're getting rid of that guy. So we're going to say number 2, we're going to delete. And which server would you like to delete? Number 2. Okay, your server has been deleted. And I also put a little prompt in here. Be sure to save data from main menu to make this change persistent. Right now, it's just altering the vectors in memory. So if I close the program now, like anything I did would be lost. But in this case, if we look back at the inventory, we can see that HP server is now gone like we intended. We'll go number 4 to go back to the main menu. And then we can save the current inventory to those CSV files. So let's go ahead and hit number 6. We'll save it. And all data has been saved to CSV files. So that makes any changes that I made to this persistent. So now they're saved in the CSV files. And if I went ahead and opened one of those CSV files, okay. So this is an example of one of the CSV files. It's very plain, very basic, just getting the data out. But I know for a fact that businesses run on Excel. So everybody dumps everything into Excel spreadsheets and passes it around in emails. That's just the way business works. So anyway, we've got our basic header, just explaining the different fields, and this is the data. This is the new one that we just saved in there. Installed OS was NA because we didn't enter one, we skipped over it, and you could have NA value for any of this stuff. And then I'm going to close this. Now I don't want to save it. And then if I exit the program, okay, exiting program, have a nice day. Load it back up, and again we've got nothing in inventory currently, so we can load back from those CSV files. So number 5, and we just all data has been loaded, and we're going to see what we got in inventory. Actually, let's go back into servers because we entered one and see what's in the server. And there it is. So it saved the changes that we made before. We don't have the HP server still, and the Dell server is the one we just added. So, and also just a little touch, if there is not a value enter, if it's just NA, then it doesn't show up in the description because there's no real value there anyway. So that is it. That's the entirety of my inventory system program. And that is our final project. So I'm hoping for a good score there, but I think it should be. This was a fun project. Honestly, C++ is quite challenging compared to Python, which I'm much more familiar with, and even C#, which I've done some work with as well. Just a lot more basic, got to build it yourself kind of things in C++. So, but it was fun. It was a good learning experience, and that's all I got. Next semester is advanced, and we'll see how it goes from there. So, thanks for tuning in.